Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Well, it is time for a fact that makes your brain go. Now, it's if you had a T-shirt that said the phrase, you say the most every day, what would it be? I think you're going to be surprised by the number one answer of Chicagoans, and we'll tell you that in a second. First, some of our crew members texted in a lot of interesting ones. The F word was a lot.
No, we actually can't say so many of the texts.
Yeah.
There's some very funny ones.
I like this one from Katie in Elgin. She said, what I say the most every day? Jeez-o Pete's.
Jeez-o Pete's.
She is a sweetheart.
That is very nice.
I want to know her.
Cute.
I know. I want to be around her all day. Jeez-o Pete's. Yeah.
Allie texted in and said, I just sigh a lot. But I think that's funny.
You know what yours would be, Kenzie? I don't think you know this.
What?
And Case can back me up on this. Son of a nutcracker.
And it's a phrase that I've only heard you use.
Yeah. That's
Me
your
and Elf, baby.
Yeah, that's your phrase.
Yeah.
And somebody said, that's what she said.
That's fun. That's very fun.
Michael Scott listens. Love that.
But let's get to the list of what Chicagoans, maybe your friends, neighbors, maybe you, say the most every day, and it would be put on a T-shirt if it could be done that. Maybe we should all do that. Number 10, it is what it is. I'm surprised that's not higher.
Yes.
So many people in my life say it is what it is.
Oh, God, the waste of breath.
Number 9 is, I'm not a doctor, which means people might go, will you look at this? Does this look infected? Or what's this rash look like? I'm not a doctor. I guess people say that a lot. Number 8, that makes sense.
That makes sense?
That's what people say. Because that's like me to my right on. They're not listening. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Number 7, I think you were on mute.
I think you were on mute.
Meaning that so many people FaceTiming they can't hear you.
Oh, my God.
God, that's a lot of people in your life saying that.
Huh.
Number 6, these are phrases that you're most used each day, and if it was on a T-shirt, number 6 would be, so basically, people that continue that way, and they always say that, and then whatever they're going to say afterward. So basically, number 5, where did I leave my blank? So people looking for something all the time, they say that. Number 4, what the F, by using the full-on F word. What the F.
Amen. I can't believe that's not number 1.
Yeah, it's not. Number 3, fair enough.
I use fair enough.
You do?
Yeah.
You say fair sometimes, you shorten it.
That's fair.
Fair.
That's fair.
Fair.
That's fair.
Number
He doesn't
2.
say that to me. He's usually arguing with me.
Number 2 of the phrases most used each day. I don't know, I just work here.
That's good.
And number 1 of phrases in Chicago that people use the most every day, and it would be put on a T-shirt, you'd see this walking down the street all the time, is... Where's our drum roll at? Couple more seconds.
You wait for it to end?
Yeah. No worries.
Oh, I say that.
I do too.
I say no worries.
Yeah,
a
no
lot.
worries. No worries.
No worries.
No worries.
No
Case,
worries.
I never heard Case say that.
I'm constantly worried.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
One of the greatest songs of all time. My Chemical Romance, Welcome to the Black Parade. And I have a mashup to play that's one of the greatest mashups to that song of all time.
Okay.
Give us about 120 seconds. Now, Jared checked in and said, if Brian plays All I Want for Christmas is the Black Parade, I'm signing off. It's too early. He's referring to the My Chemical Romance. They did a cover of All I Want for Christmas Is You, the Mariah Carey song. There goes Jared.
Okay. Jared's gone.
As Kenzie would say.
Goodbye.
Now, when he said it's too early, do you think he means in the season or in the morning?
Didn't even think of it that way. I
Can
just
we
thought
play it at 7?
Okay, this isn't it. This isn't what we're going to talk about.
No.
I got one we'll play in about 120 seconds because first we were still talking about if you put on a T-shirt something that you say every day the most, what would it be? And no worries, came up number 1 with Chicagoans. No worries, but we're still getting some hilarious texts coming in, and we're remembering that people that we know in our lives, what they say all the time.
Oh, my gosh. So Brian and I were just talking about this. First off, Paul with the winning text, he wrote, my wife's favorite saying is, not tonight, I have a headache.
Whoa.
Which is awesome. That is so funny.
Pretty rough.
And then I was thinking of people in my life, Brian, when we were talking about this. It didn't hit me right away. And my husband, Roman, guaranteed the number 1 thing he says is, long story short, after about a 45-minute story. It's always the longest story in the world.
No one has ever said that and told a short story.
No, long story short, and I'm like, thank God, because
Yeah.
I'm going to die right now.
Yeah.
And then my grandpa loves to go, true story, and then tell you the most basic, like, I believe you, Grandpa. He'll be like, true story. Went to McDonald's with my friends, out of coffee. True story. And I'm like, I believe you. No one's true story. Had a bunch of errands to run today. I'm like, I know, Grandpa. I get it. Like, everyone believes you.
Oh,
He
God.
puts it in front of everything he says. He says true story first. True story, clean the carpet.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know.
Wow, Grandpa, I don't believe you.
What? Oh, my gosh.
And this is something that Lee just texted in, and there's a guy at Costco. You know, when you leave Costco, you got to show your receipt, and then they swipe it off with the Sharpie, and then you
True
go
story.
out.
You have to do that.
True story. I did that the other day.
True story.
The other day, Kenzie, true story. I went to Costco, and they swiped my receipt on the way out. True story. True story. This happened at Costco, and there's, you get to know the people there when you've been going to the same Costco for years and years like I have. Mm-hmm. And there's this guy, and I go to him, and I always know what he's going to say, because I always am very friendly and a small talk captain.
Oh, classic, yes.
And I go, hey, man, how you doing? And he always, in a snarky, dry tone, goes, living the dream. Every time he goes, living the dream. And Lee just texted that, and that's what he says all the time, living the dream.
Ironically, he's living your dream. He's in Costco 24/7.
No kidding. Oh, man.
Do you guys have anybody in your life that says they're in their blank era all the time? That's the phrase that's really getting me down right now. I don't like it.
Well, geez, that's such...
You're in your sad era?
No, I'm not in my sad era. I'm in a good era right now.
Well, you just said it's getting you down.
Well, I don't like when people use it because they'll be like, oh, not me in my high cholesterol era. And it's like, well, that doesn't really work for
That's
anything.
kind of funny, though, if you think about it. That's actually a hilarious
They use
way
it
to
for
do it.
everything. I don't like it. Oh, not me in my eating breakfast era.
Now, far be it from me to be the Gen Xer in the room. Is that a Gen Z phrase? Because I've never heard anybody of my Gen X brethren use that way in that phrase.
You weren't saying like, oh man, me in my trench coat era when you were wearing trench coats. That wasn't happening. It's totally a Gen Z thing.
Not me in my fedora era.
You do Lightning Rod Lewis era.
Oh, man, that's
I still
funny.
think it's kind of funny, depending how you say it. I really liked the high cholesterol one.
I
I'm
like-
like, oh no.
Yeah,
What an era. Be careful.
Kim just checked it in. I have a coworker, and we're talking about the things that you hear or you yourself say the most that if you put on a T-shirt, it'd be going around. Kim said, I have a coworker that always says, grandma crackers.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Grandma crackers.
Kim, we need more explanation. Details, explain more. Like, how is it used? Grandma crackers.
What is that movie, Brian? I know. Here we go. Okay. It's about, I want to say, it's a made-up band, and it's like
That thing you do?
Yes! Ah! Brian and I are right there, because he goes, I am Spartacus
Yes.
all the time.
I am Spartacus.
And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I know that movie was popular at that time, but he's just randomly saying it.
630 has a friend that would say, you would F up a wet dream. That's an old one, man. That's an oldie but a goodie.
Oldie but a goodie.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a classic.
Oh,
You'd
he's-
F up a wet dream as your classic. True story, you'd F it up.
True story. Oh, man, these are so good. Keep them coming in. Things that, you say the most or someone you know says the most every day. And Chicagoans were asked what it would be if you'd put that on a T-shirt. Everybody walking around with a T-shirt that said these things. So, promised the Black Parade mashup. This has to be one of the best ones of all time. And I'll just tell you, even though you'll know right away, it is mashed up with the Beatles. So this is the Black Parade mashed up with the Beatles. Enjoy. Here we go. Let's go. So good. the end is killer.
You know
That's
what?
awesome.
That song slaps in every genre.
Yeah.
It's still so good.
So good. All right, it's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Case, Paul checked in and said, so I'm in my kidney failure era.
Oh my God, that's amazing. It's funny, Case.
Oh, Paul, in my sympathy era, I'm so sorry.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's official. I've changed my favorite Oasis song to that one this week. We'll see what happens tomorrow, whichever one we play. But oh my God, is that a song? Oh my goodness. I'm such in the feels right now.
Imagine 50,000 Chicagoans singing that at Soldier Field. It'd be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Oh,
No.
No.
You know Brian hates when people sing the song. It's
No.
his nightmare.
okay. We're going to hit God Bless the Baby in a second and your chance to get Oasis tickets in a
He's
second.
going to be like, everyone shut up. I can't hear Oasis.
I'd like to clarify. Can I clarify my statements? So I don't like it when everybody sings every lyric to every song at a concert. One song, two songs, maybe we can all agree to pick which
We have a
one.
designated song.
Should there be a group chat for the Oasis?
Yes, when we're going in the Soldier Field, I'm going to sit up front at the gate,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get
So
everybody's
get
phone.
there early because it's going to take a little bit to filter in.
Okay, I'm not trying to delay these tickets because we're giving away in a second.
But this is important.
How
Yeah.
many people can you put in a group chat? Is there a limit Apple has?
There can't be.
Can I put 50,000 people in a group chat?
I think you can, as long as they all have iPhones. No green bubbles are allowed at the Oasis
Oh my
show.
gosh. Can you imagine sending out, okay, we're going to all sing Don't Look Back in Anger. That's the only song we're going to sing to. And then the green things pop up late. No, I want to do Wonderwall.
I think Ticketmaster actually said if you have an Android, we're not letting you buy Oasis tickets. I believe that's in the privacy
That's not
policy.
true. That's not true.
It's very small.
Okay, so I'll be out there at the South Lots because I'll be tailgating before that show for a while. And then I'll get everybody's number. We'll start a group chat. And then we'll decide what song we're all going to sing along to. I'll even give you guys two songs. We'll do two. Just not the whole show. I want to hear Noel and Liam sing.
What two wouldn't bother you? What two Oasis songs wouldn't bother you?
Honestly, that one, because I'm going to be singing so hard with that one. And Wonderwall. Because everybody's going to sing Wonderwall. You can't not sing Wonderwall. Maybe. Who can't sing that?
I don't know. I don't know if I would call that singing what you just did.
Okay, funny story again. We're going to get to the tickets in a second.
Good Lord.
We're going to get to them. On the Red Line stop at Belmont, I got off one day and there was a guy with a guitar singing Wonderwall. Incredible. He was nailing it.
Yeah.
And people get off the Red Line, you walk and you get on your way. So people were giving him money because he was so good. And I stayed for a second because I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a hot dog at Demon Dogs right next door.
Classic.
But I was trying to talk myself out of it because I didn't think I needed that hot dog. Is it Devil Dogs or Demon Dogs that's right there?
Devil Dogs. Demon Dogs, I think, is no longer in business.
Demon Dogs was over on DePaul and
Yes.
is no longer in business. We'll
Yeah.
The devil is stronger.
Yeah, we gotta-
He's kind of like the boss of the demons.
pour one out for Demon Dogs.
You had that ready to go so quick.
Oh, God. All right, it closed a while ago, and I used to go there, too. But as I was sitting there waiting to decide to get the hot dog, the guy got done with Wonderwall, and then he started it over again.
Well, yeah, why bother with another song? It's Wonderwall, baby.
But I got disappointed in him then because he was so good at Wonderwall. I thought, well, what's he going to play next? This guy's incredible. But he just kept playing Wonderwall because people get off the train and leave, and they think he's got 10 or 15 songs too, but they don't know. But I do because I stayed around.
So you were disgusted by the talented free show.
I kind of wanted to go to him. I didn't do this, but I
He
wanted to
took
kind of.
money out. He's like, none for you.
I kind of wanted to reach back in, but it's kind of that tip situation where you're like, hey, man, I gave you $5, but now I kind of want it back because you only know Wonderwall really well.
Supernova.
No Live Forever? What the hell?
Come on, dog.
God bless the baby.
All right, 312-591-8300. Call right now, and this is your chance to get floor seats for Soldier Field. As we've explained, we've been qualifying people every day this week at 7 o'clock, and on tomorrow's Friday, we'll do it one more time Friday at 7, and then we'll draw the winner tomorrow for the floor seats. Soldier Field, Oasis, first time in 15 years in Chicago.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin. Q101.
Oh, more free tickets. You get concert tickets. You get concert tickets. And John might checking in from West Chicago for Dexter and the Moonrocks. Love this band at the Metro coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow. And if you beat Kenzie in trivia, John, ahoy, tell us something about yourself.
Ahoy. As you said, I'm John from West Chicago, and I'm actually a triplet. So
Wow.
there's 2 more me's, and my parents picked all J names, which was really interesting growing up.
So John, Jehoshaphat.
Jacob.
It was John, Josh, and Jesse, but anytime we were in trouble, my parents would just go jet, because they couldn't pick the right one.
You're all in trouble. You ganged up on us.
Do you guys look almost, are you identical?
My Josh and Jesse they're identical, and I'm fraternal.
Whoa.
Wow. The oddball out. The black sheep of the twins.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Triplets. That's
Yes.
tough.
Do you look like really different from them?
No, I mean, if all 3 of us are together, you can tell we're related, but the other 2 are spitting image of each other, and they would show up at the same party wearing the same outfit and then be really mad at each other.
Oh my God.
Change.
You guys should be the Spider-Man meme for Halloween. Are you all pointing at each other? It's fun.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. I don't know how many triplets there are out there. I don't know the stats on that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's pretty rare.
All right. That's not question is not in trivia, by the way.
It will be in there tomorrow, though.
Okay, we'll be tomorrow.
Let
So
me
listen
Google
tomorrow.
it.
Listen tomorrow at 7:25. We'll have some kind of stat about triplets.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, remember, John, if Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, buddy.
Heads.
It is heads.
Woohoo!
But if your other 2 brothers flipped, it would have been tails. It would have came out that
Yeah,
way.
That's right.
Anyway, here we go. Question number 1. What is the name of the bald male mascot who often advertises cleaning products?
Mr. Clean.
That's right. That's right. Kenzie, that was a tough first question, huh?
Well, I mean, maybe you should have worded it different so his name wasn't in it.
Well, cleaning products had to be in there. I mean, I couldn't have said, like, he makes, pasta.
Wow, you're right about that, Brian.
You worked really
argue.
hard to figure out a way around that.
Yep. Back to Kenzie.
Yep.
What type of eyewear does Mr. Peanut wear?
A monocle.
He wears a monocle. Too bad that look went away. I think it was a big look at one
Really?
time.
Do you think you'd look good with that?
I want to come in tomorrow with a monocle on.
Don't do that. I'll kick your ass. I can't be around somebody with a monocle.
Back to John.
Yeah, 1-1.
John, viral sensation Moo Dang is what kind of animal?
She is a hippo.
That's right. Technically a pygmy hippo, I guess.
I think so.
Yes.
Or just a little hippo that gets bigger. I don't know. Back to Kenzie.
Yep, 2-1.
Kenzie, who was the U.S. president during the Civil War?
I think. I think it was George Washington.
It was not.
Yikes.
Well, wasn't he like the leader of that whole thing? Because he was like pretty like, let's not do the slave thing.
Well, I think he had a few.
He did. He had a few.
Yeah.
But then he was like, we shouldn't. Right?
No, I don't think he did.
I
think he was fine
Let me
with
double back. Let me
No, he
circle
kinda
the
liked
block.
it.
I feel like he circled the block on that. Was like maybe no.
We don't know what he said at, coffee parties and
He's
stuff.
like, listen, I've been thinking about it.
And then they went,
These guys are
George.
pretty good guys.
Yeah. And then
No?
and then people, his friends went, George, come on, you're talking crazy. He goes, you're right. So, John, who was the president during the Civil War?
That would be Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. So Kenzie, he was the guy that was like, this is
Totally
bad.
bad.
This is bad. And staked his reputation on
I
it.
thought George had a moment, like a coming to God thing.
I don't think so. No.
Him and his damn horse teeth. They didn't follow through on that. Son of a bitch.
All right, 3-1 back to John.
John, Munchkins are a miniature donut at what breakfast chain?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, 4 for John. Back to Kenzie. John Arbuckle is the owner of what cartoon cat?
What?
John Arbuckle is the owner of what cartoon cat?
And it sounds like John might know it.
Sylvester?
That's not right. John for the win?
Okay, I'm going to drop a dunk. That would be Garfield.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
All right, so once again, the keyword for Ticket Blitz Thursday right now for Queens of the Stone Age tickets at Huntington Bank Pavilion, Northerly, Iowa, Saturday, June 21st, 2025 is Josh. So text, if you haven't done it yet, do it once, that's it. But if you haven't done it yet, Josh to 312-591-8300, and that's how you get a chance to win tickets. And that's active for another about 40 minutes, 8:59, that's when it'll go away, and we'll give you a new word at 9 every hour today, Queens of the Stone Age tickets with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So we're talking about the lounge yesterday with Tyler Joseph of 21 Pilots and just how, I had an expectation, of course, that it was going to be something incredible memory-wise. What am I trying to say? Forever memories. A forever memory I would have for it.
Okay.
And it exceeded it because I heard he was going to play all the songs on a ukulele, and I love full band situations, but I know it was just him. And man, is he damn good at the ukulele.
Yeah, very much so.
God, he can play that thing.
Uh-huh.
And as Kenzie was saying before the break, he was working out new songs with the audience, just talking from it. He goes, hey, hold on, everybody. You mind if I do this? Like, that's not usually how lounges go. People perform, and they want a great performance. He was basically like having a writing session with the audience in the lounge.
And just breaking down how he makes songs and like going in depth about each song that he played, going in depth about how he created that song and what it did sound like versus what it sounds like now, and playing almost different versions of the song, and then still performing multiple songs that were like phenomenal through and through. But just the behind, it was literally like a behind the music. That's what I felt like I was participating in.
Yeah.
And I was kind of looking around because I'm like, this is amazing. He does have to get to the United Center. I was like getting a little concerned.
Well, there's a couple funny moments we want to share with you that are really enjoyable that happened before. And I want to say one more thing about our audience and our listeners. And this is not me pandering in any way at all. You guys are the best because talking to everybody in the lounge that got in, and we know thousands of people, in fact, maybe five-figure thousands, 10 to 15,000 people tried to get in from all over the country, and we wouldn't let the people outside the area try to get in. We wanted you guys to get in. Even though we love our people that listen on the Q101 app, which is redesigned and beautiful. You can listen anywhere in the world to Q101. We love those people. But we wanted to make sure our locals got in, so there was a delay in starting the lounge. It was supposed to start at noon. And apparently, so he brought two ukuleles over
Yes.
to play through. You have your standard and your backup ukulele. And both of them had an issue when he got here. And I think someone heard him say, so we're screwed.
Oh, my God.
And he had a staff here, a road crew of about, 22 of the coolest, nicest guys out there. And they ran back to the United Center to get a third ukulele.
Think about that.
Think about that. Never happened before in the lounge history.
I don't want to be judgy. Yeah. Why didn't you just pack all the ukuleles?
Well, two should be enough. Let's be honest.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't.
There is no way there hasn't been a scenario in which two wasn't enough prior.
I got to say, as a guitar player and played in bands many years, I took two guitars to every gig I ever had. And if the first one failed, the second one was fine.
Listen, Brian, we're not talking about guitars. We're talking about ukuleles.
I understand.
This is a different ball game.
Both have strings. Both are. And I would have hoped that he probably think about how many ukuleles he probably has at the United Center.
OMG.
He probably had like 27.
Yeah, he's got a giant case of ukuleles.
Oh, he even has one, as he noted in the lounge. He has one called Chicago.
That's right. The only one he's ever named.
The only one he's ever
And he
named.
admitted that some of them are at home. He's like, I have one at home named Chicago. I'm like, there's more at home.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't pack all of his ukuleles.
Yeah. Another funny moment happened beforehand, and he was, of course, impeccably dressed. And all of a sudden, he brought a steamer from the hotel that they were staying at to steam his clothes before he went on. So he looked perfect. Obviously, a man I admire so much with his OCD because I have it just like that. And their steamer wasn't steaming properly, the one they took from the hotel and brought it to Q101.
And I should note, because I was involved in the great steamer conversation with Tyler Joseph at the lounge yesterday.
It will be called that 10 years from now, even, the great steamer debate.
The problem was that their go-to steamer was also at the United Center. Because they were doing two
Stuff
shows.
was at the United Center.
So they had a wardrobe person, which I've never seen at a lounge before. I wish more people would come to the lounge with a designated wardrobe person.
How about it?
And she's steaming the clothes, and she turns to me, who's standing in the hallway, and goes, this one we stole from the hotel this morning just isn't doing what I need it to do. Do you guys happen to have a steamer on hand? And my eyes got big because I didn't know that was a tool until she had asked me the question.
And I will tell you, that question has never been asked in Q101 before. Do you have a steamer laying around?
We've had a lot of bands ask a lot of weird questions. The steamer is the first. And I said, I don't think we do, but I know we have somebody at Target right now. I will call them real quick and see if they can pick you up one. And Kenzie happened to overhear that and save the day and said, no, I actually have one with me.
I had a steamer with me.
And
I'm
now
telling
Kenzie's
you.
a part of 21 Pilots history.
I'm telling you, Kenzie saved the lounge yesterday.
That's right.
Because she had a steamer in her duffel bag.
Could you imagine how far back the lounge would have been pushed for people? Maybe it would have overlapped the United Center and he couldn't do it.
That's right.
Had there not been a steamer on site.
The
welcome.
lounge could have been pushed back months if
I
Kenzie
know.
wasn't here with her steamer in her pocket.
I'm like, well, I have one. Case was like, we have to go to Target. I'm like, why? You need a steamer. I'm like, I have a steamer.
It worked out great.
I pulled it out of my backpack.
They couldn't have been nicer asking about it, and it was a reasonable request. The one thing that I really come to appreciate with bands that have come in the lounge this year is the bands that don't need to care. Your 21 Pilots and your Shinedowns and Green Days and people like that are already established at such a level. They don't need to care about this, but they care about Q101, and they are the ones that care more than anybody. And you saw the 21 Pilots machine happen yesterday, and their success, and more importantly, their longevity is not a mistake.
No.
Because they put thought and care into every single thing they did. And
Yeah.
it was so fascinating to see, as somebody who's been with this band since the beginning, since Vessel came out, watching all of this unfold in front of me yesterday it was mind-blowing to watch.
Before we move on, I do want to make a point. Texts are coming in. A steamer is something you use to get the wrinkles out of your clothes.
Yes.
Because some unusual texts are coming in about what a steamer is. So, and not only did Kenzie save the day with her steamer, because my wife was here too, apparently Kenzie has the greatest steamer of all time.
This is what people were saying.
Yeah, platinum steamer.
No, it's really good. I've actually gotten, and I still have the mark on my wrist, a 3rd-degree burn that took about a month to heal because of my steamer.
Well, that's a good steamer.
I said, listen, you need to be very careful on Tyler Joseph.
Don't kill Tyler
I'm like,
Joseph.
If anything, this is going to be too powerful.
You know what
Get him out of the room while you steam it.
I envision Kenzie pulled out of her purse a flamethrower, and then Tyler Joseph gets burned alive at Q101.
I'm like, we have to be very careful. No ukuleles can be near the steamer.
I gotta say, Tyler Joseph, he looks amazing. No wrinkles, but he's dead from Kenzie's steamer.
Stop it.
You saved the day, Kenzie. You
I do
really
what
did.
I can.
You saved the day. One more thing I want to add in here is that we opened up, and I talked to Tyler Joseph, one of the first questions about the show the night before, because this was yesterday, of course, and said, how do you even get up, and do a show the way it's so physical? If you've never seen 21 Pilots, how physical the show is, flips and running around the stage. And there was a girl in the lounge who was basically putting up on Reddit everything that was said in the lounge by Tyler and our questions. We appreciate you doing that, by the way.
So phones weren't allowed in the lounge. That's why we haven't shared any videos. No listeners have shared videos. The only video that's out there is the one that 21 Pilots took because they were allowed to have their phones.
And that's on Q101's Instagram and Facebook page
Yes,
right now.
exactly. But this person had a pen and paper and was taking notes like a journalist in the 60s over every word Tyler Joseph said and every question you guys asked. And this is what they revealed, which caused quite a story on the internet yesterday.
Yeah, this was our first question when he brought up after I mentioned about the physical show. He said he broke his fibula and had a UCL tear at a show in Denver and then performed 9 more shows after that before he found out, because he's such a dedication to perform that he just thought he was a little hurt. And you know what you do? He's from, the Midwest like us. You just get up and you play. You play hurt, But he had a broken leg. He shouldn't have played hurt. And jumped and did that for 9 more shows of piano jumps that he does and everything before he, finally said, a doctor should look at this. And that's what happened a while back. But so many nuggets. And again, so many people checking in. This all will be posted from the professional HD camera views of the 21 Pilots people that filmed it. They just want to make sure everything's perfect. As we can tell how we're having this conversation, everything needed to be perfect. So it's coming. You'll know about it when it's posted on all of our Q101 platforms. What a day. And, of course, 2 nights at the United Center with Q101, 21 Pilots, and the Lounge. We thank all of you for listening and all of our winners who got there free. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.